"Pretend you kiss me for 10 minutes," the CEO sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. The janitor froze, a single father with nothing but silent dignity in his eyes. No one expected what he did next, and when the truth came out, the entire room stood in stunned silence. Before we start today's story, leave a comment below and let us know which city you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The demand sliced through the room like a cruel blade. "Pretend you kiss me for 10 minutes, the CEO ordered, his tone laced with mockery. Every eye in the office turned. Some gasped. Others looked away, too afraid to interfere. The man he addressed was not a fellow executive, not even a manager. He was a janitor, a single father, a man who carried silent burdens no one cared to see. He stood there, mop still in hand, his work shirt damp with the smell of bleach and sweat. His hands were rough, calloused from years of unseen labor. His face, lined not by age but by sacrifice, remained calm. But inside, his heart burned, not from shame, from memory. Years ago, he had worn a different uniform, not a faded janitor shirt, but a soldier's gear. He had marched across deserts where the air smelled of dust and gunpowder. He had carried brothers through gunfire, whispering promises that they would make it home. Some did, some didn't. The silence of those nights still haunted him, a silence far heavier than any insult thrown at him now. When he came back, there was no parade, no applause, only bills that piled higher than his courage to ask for help. His wife was gone, leaving him with a little girl who had his eyes but cried for a mother he could never give back. He took the only work offered, mopping floors, emptying trash, polishing shoes that stepped over him without a glance. Yet every day he told himself, "She deserves more. I will not give up." Now, under the cruel spotlight of the CEO's words, he stood silently. The office was frozen. No one dared speak. Coworkers exchanged glances, their silence a prison built of fear. And the CEO smirked, confident that his power was absolute. But the janitor did not bow. He did not argue. He did not even move. His silence was a wall, unshakable. For in that silence he carried the weight of fallen comrades, the promise to his daughter, and the dignity no man could steal. The tension thickened. Some began to whisper, was he defying the CEO? Would he be fired? Would he finally break? But then something unexpected happened. A voice rose from the back of the room, calm, firm, and steady. It was a young employee, once quiet, now emboldened. "Sir," she said, "he deserves respect. He's not a man to mock." Then another stood, and another, until the room that once suffocated with silence now pulsed with unspoken solidarity. The janitor never lifted his eyes, never spoke a word. Yet his presence was a statement more powerful than any defense. The CEO's smirk faltered. Power slipped from his grasp like sand through trembling fingers, because the truth was undeniable. This was no ordinary man. This was a soldier, a father, a silent hero. 3 lines would echo from this day, whispered and remembered. Silence is not weakness. It is strength waiting to be seen. Respect is not given by titles, but by honor. Some heroes mop floors, but carry battles you'll never understand. The climax came when the janitor finally looked up, locking eyes with the man who had mocked him. No words, just a gaze, steady, unwavering, that made the CEO step back. For the first time, he was the one exposed. The office erupted, not in noise, but in a wave of silent respect. Colleagues stood tall, their eyes lowered not in shame but in honor of the man they had overlooked for too long. The CEO had no choice but to retreat, his arrogance shattered. And when the janitor turned to leave, his little daughter was waiting at the doorway, her small hands clutching the lunchbox that he had forgotten. She looked up at him with pride, shining brighter than tears. He had not just won a battle. he had shown her that dignity could never be bought or mocked. Silent heroes walk among us every day. They clean our halls, carry unseen scars, and fight battles we will never know. This story reminds us that respect is never a luxury. It is a duty. Where are you watching from tonight? Share your thoughts below. And if this story touched you, subscribe for more stories that honor those whose silence speaks louder than words.